Well, hey guys, I'm excited. I picked up two of Eagle McMahon's new Streamline ranges, and I've loved the original range that I got in the space race, and I'm going to test these out, and I'm going to throw them against the Berg and the Berg X just to see how they do. But I already love the range, so I'm excited about these. I'm more excited about this one because I can see it. This one, I'm going to probably lose. But we're going to talk all about it right after the intro. Okay guys, so here's the plan. I've got two ranges that I'm going to test with the space race range that has seen some miles, so it's been beat up a little bit, so I'm going to see how much wear and tear has come into play with those. But then I'm also going to throw them against a brand new Berg. Shout out to my buddy at 603 Disc Dies. Got that at the expo, and I've thrown it like twice maybe. So a brand new Berg. And then I'm going to bring out my putter Berg that's seen some days and is a little more flippy, and I'm going to kind of compare that to the range because I think they're going to kind of be similar. And then I brought out a Berg X that I've thrown just a little bit, but to be honest, I haven't really made a big difference between the Berg and the Berg X. I haven't, I just grab one of them and throw them. And I really kind of lean on the Berg more than the Berg X. I don't really know why. Slightly different numbers. This is a 1-1-1-2, where the other one is like a 1-1-0-2. Go, I know somebody's going to clobber me. I'll have to put it down here. But yeah, I tend to just go with the Berg instead of the Berg X. But we're going to throw these. I will say it's a little windy out here. Got a shout out to Peter. He's shoveling snow right now up in Canada, and I'm here. It was a little cool on the motorcycle ride over here, but the sun's coming out finally after all the rain, and it's going to get up into the 50s, so it's not too bad, but it is blowy today. It's a little gusty. 1 minute it's 15 this way, and then it's 15 that way. That's kind of how it is in this area here. But we're just going to throw them, see how they do. I'm excited. I'm already pretty much determined that I'm going to have one of these ranges in my bag. I'm going to have a Berg and a range, and those two are going to be a great complement, but we're going to see how they fly today, give you a little insight into the range, and would it be something that you might want to play along with your Berg? So let's find out. Okay, I was going to hold these in my hand while I threw it because that drives some people crazy that I will hold other discs in my hand while I'm throwing. But if you knew how many times I've thrown with other discs in my hand, I actually think it balances me out somewhat. I can throw with discs in my hand or without. I've thrown a million of them. So this doesn't really throw me off that much. But for the sake of this, because I'm trying to be slightly scientific, I'm going to start with the Berg X. Let's bring you over here. And so the basket is 225 from here, and that's about the range, no pun intended, for my Bergs and stuff like that. Anything else, I'm going to be pushing a little farther. As a matter of fact, the next video after this, I'm going to be playing with the Star Pigs. Really like those as well. But so I'm going to take this out here, and to be honest, I'm probably going to have to land this right at the tree in front of the basket. So I'm really about 200, 210 is where I'm comfortable throwing these. I can push it farther if I need to. But that's about the most I want to do on a backhand. Forehand we get even closer, but for the backhand. So Berg X, and I'm going to try to throw these all straight at the basket. I'm going to try to give them a little height because they want to be a little higher and then drop on in there. But let's see how we do. I've stretched, but these are, of course, the first one's right off the motorcycle. So the first round is probably going to be ugly. I might even just kill this and show you the second round once I start to warm up my booty and my back. Release that a little on hyzer, and it's fading out a little bit. It's got that 2 fade, so it's going to fade over a little bit. All right, now the brand new Berg. I got some air under that, but see, that's just going to push. I think the wind held that up a little bit, but just nice and straight. All right, now for my beat up putter Berg. Not quite as high. You can see the wind grabbed it a little bit. So you can see these are just kind of warm up shots, getting used to throwing out there. Not going to show a lot. And let's face it, the Bergs are not going to be moving around an awful lot. So there's just subtle nuances here. All right, I'm intentionally going the opposite direction so I can warm up a little before I throw the ranges. So now I've got the range in the Space Race glow plastic. and they are slightly skinnier and do carry just a little bit farther than the Berg. All right, now we'll go with the, I don't even know what color this is. Yeah, tell me in the comments. So that's the thing about these is, if anything, the Berg is pretty straight with a little fade, where these are just laser straight for me. They're just point and shoot, and that's why I love them. Like I said, it's a great 1-2 combination. I'd say the range is a little more flippy than the Berg. So on the forehand, I notice it even a little bit more because of the torque resistance. But so that's why certain holes I want to just push straight, and some I want to get a little bit of a fade to it. And that's why I like the 2 back to back. All right, let me go get them. We'll try it again. Okay, let's run through these again. Gonna start with the Berg X. Got a little bit of a crosswind pushing right now. I still keep putting that one on a little bit of an edge, so I'm not giving it as much credit. I'm throwing it out and I'm already putting it, I need to throw that one a little flatter. Guys, it's hard to repeat the shots over and over again. So doing my best out here. Ground is wet, I'm old, deal with it. That's right on now. Okay, that Berg is straight. It doesn't have any fade to it. It's brand new. Now it could have, with the dye and traveling, I have a backup. I have another fairly brand new I picked up at Marshall Street Discs. Great seeing those guys out there. And so I'm just gonna see if this one's got a little bit more fade to it, because that one is just a straight puppy. It's almost flying like a range. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna switch those 2s out. I've already given a shout out to 603 dies, so I can switch over to the other one, because that one's flying more like a regular Berg. It's got a little bit more meat to it, pulling back. Because to be honest, that dyed one is flying more like my putter one. Oh, I slid on that one. Yep. We just had a big rainstorm out here and everything is just soaked. All right, now for the Space Race range. Threw that a little low, but it just right on line. All right, new Eagle McMahon. I pulled that a little right. All right, let's face it, I'm really wanting an ace with this one, so here we go. Oh, I needed more height. It's gonna be close, but no, I never had a chance. But the thing about the range and the Berg is I'm so confident throwing those. I can just put them on that shot and they're not gonna get squirrely. All right, let's see how they do forehands. Okay, so now I'm set up at 150 feet from the basket, and this is where we're gonna test out the forehands. And this is gonna be just the forehand, not necessarily approach shot. No, 150 feet is kind of my limit of where I wanna keep my forehand with the Berg and stuff. But this is gonna be more of the full power forehand, whereas in a minute I'm gonna try my classic Anheuser approach shot, which I'll have to move in just a little bit closer. But so we'll start with the Berg X. Yep. Okay, I got rid of the dyed one and my putter one because I wouldn't be using those for these anyway. All right, regular Berg. That was the Berg X. See, there's a reason why 150 is about my limit, because I'm trying to give it a lot of pop. To be honest, I'd probably grab my pig from here. I'd want to move in a little bit closer, just be a little less, little more comfortable, that I don't have to give it the full beans. All right, that was a terrible throw, Pete. Let's try the range. You see how I rolled my wrist, but it also highlighted that. All right, let's try this again. Good snap this time. Nope. That was better. So you can see the proclivity for me is my weakness in the forehand is I tend to roll it over. So I'm not going to want to throw the range that much on forehand if it's starting to get out a little bit of distance. To be honest, if I only can choose one, I'm going to choose the Berg over the range, but I like having that range as a backup because it's a good complement. But this is where it's showing out my weakness and my proclivity to want to roll over, that the range is not going to help fight out of that where the Berg is. And so let's get a little closer where I'm more comfortable throwing an approach shot at the basket. Okay, so now we're at 120 feet. Now granted, a couple things over there. On a little slope and it was wet, so that wasn't my greatest forehands, but I wanted to show you something about the disc. You need to be comfortable with those shots when you're not comfortable. And I definitely want to rely on the Berg more than the range for that. And that may be important for you. I really like the range and the Berg for backhands, but I'm going to lean on the Berg for the forehands more than I am the range. All right, so now this is where I start to get in my comfort zone of wanting to run at the basket. And so let's start with the Berg X. And some of this is I'm going to throw these on Anheuser, try to sweep around the tree and drop them in there. So I want to see how they're going to come out and fade at the basket. Just over the top of it. But it had that sweet little glide to it and faded right in. All right, now for the Berg. Push that out a little wider, but still right there at the basket. All right, now with the range. The range, so what that means is I need to not put them quite as much on Anheuser because they're going to have a little bit of that themselves. I was a little scared with that one, push that one out a little bit. A little bit better, that's going to dive harder, hit the tree. All right, right in between those, Pete. Oh, off the front of the basket. So, yeah, let's face it. I'll take any one of those from this point on. They're money for me. Hopefully for you too. Let me go grab them. So you're asking, what's the difference? Which one should I choose? Really, hopefully you'll choose both of them because I like both of them. But it comes down to nuances. I really think about the range is like a beat Berg that travels just a little bit farther. And sometimes you want a little more stability. It's like the flight is like this. If I'm throwing to you, the flight is like this, and then it's just gonna fade off. Wait, let's go backwards. Coming away from me. Throw it out, and it's gonna go and a little settling this way. Whereas the range is gonna come out and hit Zach right in the butt. Come out here with a little bit of this, but really straight, but it's just gonna hold that line and plop. So sometimes the difference in stability or just that flight angle is gonna make a difference. And so it's like, I think, carry a brand new Berg and carry a range, and you've got kind of two different shot shapes covered. Okay, so here is a great example of how the two different, just the slight nuances make a difference. So if I'm here, I'm probably going to want to throw the range versus the Berg, simply because the Berg, I'm going to want to, my tendency is going to want to throw it out a little bit farther so it can swing before it comes back towards the basket because of stability. Whereas the range, I can throw it a little bit more direct and I don't have to worry about those bushes over there. The biggest thing I have to worry about is not rolling over my wrist. So, for instance, with this Berg, I want to go right by those bushes over there. Let's see if I can do it. I'm not throwing great today, sorry guys. Nope, I'm still pulling over. All right, let's try that again with the Berg X. You see, I want to swing out there and bring it around. That would be my ideal shot, but I know I need to penetrate. Well, so this is the perfect penetrating disc. If I just put it straight on line and just let it dive right through there. All right, let's try it again. You see, it's wanting to pull over just a little bit. It's going to do that natural turn for me. One more. So I even pulled that out a little bit that way and it still crawled back to the left. So there's a definite stability difference in the two, but it's not huge, because let's face it, both of them are not going to get super squirrely and be diving this way, diving that way. It's a matter of degrees, but I really like both of them. So I hope you will too. All right, last time, let's see how they putt. And by the way, for all you content creators out there, I highly recommend that you decide to practice and film by a very busy road, because it really makes a great sound for the backdrop of your videos, because I'm a professional. So the big question is, how do they putt? Because, you know, I'm a flick putter, I putt with Bergs. I also enjoyed the range. That's what got me. I went out to the space race and was throwing it well, but I was also putting well with it. And so, to be honest, this is just extra stuff. They both putt great. So it's just a matter of wind's trying to pick them up. Ah, I saw that one coming. Yeah, see, they putt so much better. Look, the basket doesn't even like the Bergs. Okay, I'm just getting ridiculous now. End of the day, guys, you know I have major love for the Berg, and I have major love for the range. And so this was not a surprise. This is really a kind of a love video for both of them. You can't go wrong with either one, and hopefully you like both of them. I think they're great discs for putt and approach, for that whole 150 in. Well, backhands you can go 250 in or more, depending on your arm speed, granted. You know, but it's that closer stuff. But man, once you get within the range of being able to throw your Bergs and your ranges, they really do help shave some strokes off your shots, because they don't get squirrely. Some people go, oh, it's a cheat code. Some people don't like it. I love these guys. They have shaved so many strokes off of my shots because I can just lean into them and rely on them. So anyway, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me any comments, questions, or whatever, and I hope to see you out on the course.